big. You've got the Big Show with Andy and Brendan.
This is the Big Show, baby.
Serving up takes on Mizzou, the pros, and everything in between. Want to join in? Call or text the show at 573-875-KTGR. The Big Show starts now.
You bet it does. Welcome into Thursday's edition of the Big Show on your total sports station. KTGR, Andy Humphrey and Brendan Schaefer here. Another day closer to the weekend, another full slate of football, of course, to get to. Going to be interesting on the Chiefs-Ravens side. Full practice again for Xavier Worthy. Seems that he's going to be playing this weekend to get back from that injury he suffered week one. Over-unders for Chiefs-Ravens, and particularly for this Chiefs offense. Can they get things going this week like the way that we expect it to? I mean, hadn't looked the same. I guess this is their chance to get it done.
Yeah, it would be a good time for it. I think the Ravens are liable to put up some points themselves. So I don't know if it's going to be quite a shootout between the two sides, but you could see the potential makings for that, which would mean, yeah, it's time for the Chiefs to find their rhythm a bit offensively.
So we've got over-unders for Chiefs-Ravens. We'll get to those in a bit. Over-unders for Mizzou, UMass. I guess whatever we might be able to come with ourselves because probably sports books don't have those yet in any capacity. We'll get to that at 5:05. We will talk some more Mizzou with Calum McAndrew of the Columbia Tribune at 4:25. And it's Thursday, which means Brendan gets you ready for fantasy football starting tonight. Cardinals and
best I can.
Shoot, who are the Cardinals playing tonight?
It is the Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Divisional matchup.
Big one. Probably got some players in it. Should you play them tonight? Or should you fade them or eliminate them? Brendan will tell you the definitive answer at 5:25. Call or text us at 875-KTGR. You can also see us on YouTube at KTGR Sports. We're live right now. You can also find us at KTGR Big Show on Twitter and Facebook.com/KTGR Big Show.
Now, the Big Show's Big Deal.
Xavier Worthy, another full practice for him. Same thing for Jalen Royals. So maybe the Chiefs get both of those wide receivers in the active roster in some way. Maybe a little more questionable on Royals since he's still a rookie. We'll see if they decide to use him. But it seems that Worthy is tracking in the right direction as the Chiefs get set to take on the Ravens this weekend. Also kind of promising, it was a full practice for everybody except for Christian Fulton. He was still limited with the ankle injury, but that means a full practice for defensive end Mike Dana, who has missed the last game and a half essentially for the Chiefs, as did Fulton. So we'll see the status of those two key defensive starters for the Chiefs. As again, Chiefs-Ravens kicks off at 3:25 on Sunday from Arrowhead Stadium. Both teams trying to avoid going 1-3 to start the year. That's the Big Show's Big Deal on this 25th day of September 2025. Give us a call or a text here at 875-KTGR to play the over-under game with us as we try to decide where the best places are to put these numbers. Like, should that be the expectation that the Chiefs have a chance now to go up against a defense that has not put up the numbers that you would want them to for a stereotypical championship contender? I know they face the Lions and the Bills, two very good offenses the Ravens have, but it's not instilling a whole lot of confidence that their defense can hold up against some of those top teams. If we're going to consider the Chiefs a top team, they should be able to consistently move the football at the very least. Like having drives stall out in the red zone and everything like that could be very frustrating at times, but it happens every so often. It's happened to the Chiefs here recently. Should they be more able to punch in touchdowns against this Ravens team? I feel like they should be.
Yeah, and I mean, they should certainly be able to pick up yards, and that is something that equal opportunity so far for Baltimore. You can run on them to the tune of 149 yards per game. That ranks 30th in the NFL. And you can throw on them to the tune of 266 yards per game, 31st. Only Dallas has been worse in that category, which when you're that bad in both, yeah, you're the worst defense in the NFL in a yards per game basis. 415 yards of total defense, I suppose you would consider it, for the Ravens through the first 3 weeks. And yes, the offenses they have played, 2 of the 3 are definitely elite, but like they gave up those numbers. Those numbers are not made up. Those are the numbers that they have surrendered. And so again, if Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in football, and he is, what is he going to do about it? And especially if you get Xavier Worthy back, that's at least like another feather in your cap. I think with him, with Tyquan Thornton, with Hollywood Brown, Travis Kelce's still out there. You should have enough to be able to maybe not do what the Bills did to him, maybe not do what the Lions did to Baltimore, but to do something, to be able to put up a respectable showing.
Well, if you're doing that and your defense plays the same way that they have, I know they're facing Lamar Jackson on the other side, but I don't have too many complaints about how the Chiefs defense has played so far this year. It may be a few plays here and there that they would like to make that just were left on the field and didn't quite give their offense a chance to operate and come back or complete a comeback, if you will. But by and large, I think they've done well enough against the teams that they've faced that, again, have shown to have pretty efficient offenses to this point. So we'll see on that front. But for Mahomes' passing number, he didn't get to it on Sunday against the Giants. Maybe if things had gone a little bit better, he would have. There was a case, though, that you can make that he didn't need to get to the number that he was at. I'm sure he was under whatever his projection was. But where would you set it for Patrick Mahomes in this one?
Well, I don't have to set it. Luckily, I can tell you what unnamedsportsbook.com has set it at, which is 238.5 for Patrick Mahomes.
Woo!
He was 224 last game, so a little bit lower than that.
Yeah, because he was around 234 for that game against the Giants, I want to say. So not.
Yeah, I think the line, you're saying the line was 234?
I think so, yeah. 234 and a half.
So he was a little, he was about 10 yards short of it last week. The line, basically the same this week, just a tick higher. The production should be more than a tick higher. When you think about the game script, I don't think that the Chiefs are going to win this game by 13 points. Maybe they will. Maybe the Ravens defense is that porous, but I think this is a more competitive game from both offenses. Russell Wilson is not on the other side. It's Lamar Jackson. There is a very good quarterback on the other side. There is a very good running back on the other side. Maybe we go over under Derrick Henry fumbles at 0.5 because that has been a thing, but otherwise Henry is still Henry. But I think because of those factors, Mahomes is going to need to throw in this game. I think he could get to 250 or more. So I would take over.
Yeah, I'd say over on him. And look, I don't know how much more Xavier Worthy factors into that number, but they'll use him. They'll at least try out and see what he can do. There is still the question mark, as we've talked this whole time, about whether they'll be right on their guess of production for what Xavier Worthy can do with the shoulder injury as he readies himself to play through that pain. But I would say the addition of him still opens up, for as long as he can be out on the field, it opens up the other options for the Chiefs to the point where it's a little bit easier for guys like Juju to get open and guys like Travis Kelce and others that are out there. Tyquan Thornton, I think, still has a good chance to potentially lead this team in receiving in this game. Well, who knows? Did it last game with the long catch he brought in, long 2 catches he brought in, really.
Well, if you think that's true, let me find his number because I'm sure you're just going to be ready to say over.
Well, his longest
Thornton
reception or just yards in total. I think both could be interesting on that.
Yeah, and there's still, we're kind of dealing with the Worthy thing where some sites are not going to have any Chiefs receivers listed because of the fact that it's not confirmed that Worthy's going to be playing yet or not. So let me see if there's anything I can get for you. No, it looks like just touchdown stuff right now. So I would set it for Thornton. I'll just say he feels like a guy that's going to get the bomb or isn't. He was 71 yards last game. I'll set the line. I'm assuming with a full practice, Xavier Worthy will play. I saw him dancing on the practice field. He looks as good as he's going to look at this point in time.
Right.
I'll set Thornton. I'm going to be a little bit conservative because I think when the lines come out, that'll be the case. 49.5
for Thornton.
Yep.
I mean, it would depend upon him getting that one long pass.
That's what I'm saying. his longest reception is almost, because that'll probably be 29.5 or something like that.
Yeah.
That's more, but he did have 5 for 71, so it's not like he was a one-trick pony, but he kind of was, because a couple of them I think were long ones.
But the touchdown he caught was in the red zone. It was a tight window. Mahomes had to fit it through, and Thornton was there. So I mean, he still can have those types of catches. Here's this. I'll say I like his touchdown number better than his yards, actually.
And his touchdown number, that is kind of juicy. It's anywhere between plus 400 and plus 550 across various unnamed sports books.
See, I think he'll catch a touchdown. I actually like that play, if you will, for this weekend. But I would like to say over or on the yards for that. But again, it's all dependent upon, does he catch that one long bomb? He can still have a good game, I think, without doing that, though. And so I'll see what that looks like. But I'll tentatively say over on the yards, but I think definitely he's getting in the end zone.
Definitely on a plus 450? All right.
Yes.
I mean, that's a bold call.
Yeah.
I feel like the odds are definitely more likely that he scores than the way that I'm looking at it on the sports books. I would agree that that's a value.
Will go to, and look, he's eventually going to want to work Worthy back into that. Same thing with Kelsey and everything, but he will go to the folks in the red zone that he has trusted over the last couple of weeks. And I would think to say that Thornton's been one of the main guys in the circle of trust so far, at least from what he's had to work with through the first few weeks. And so I think they'll try to even scheme him up in those scenarios. I actually like it for Tyquan Thornton in the end zone. So,
okay.
What's the one you like the best?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say that you like anything about the Chiefs backfield right now, knowing just how down I am on Isaiah Pacheco. But like, the number is getting kind of crazy when you consider how, again, porous the Ravens are on both sides defensively, running and passing. They let you do it both. Pacheco's line is 34.5 rushing yards. If he doesn't clear this against the Ravens, like he did clear his number against the Giants barely. I think the number was like 41.5 or something, and he got to like 49.
I think Kareem Hunt did too.
Kareem Hunt cleared his number that was like 10 yards lower. The margin is razor thin. I'm looking at Pacheco 34.5, Hunt 27.5. And I'm convinced that you're going to get like one extra Bashard Smith carry every week until it becomes like a three-headed monster and they phase out one of the two. Hunt or Pacheco, I don't think is the number 2 runner at the end of the year. I think Bashard Smith ends up carving out more of a role. But for right now, while it worked last weekend and they only gave Bashard a couple of carries, I don't think they are inclined to rush that process. But I'm probably taking Pacheco's over as much as it makes me squeamish. 34.5 is a very low number in a game that I think you can run on the Ravens. So, I kind of like Hunt's as well. I think you could see Pacheco for 40 on 11 carries and Hunt could go for 32 on 8 carries and both of them end up getting over their number.
See, last week I liked Hunt's number better than Pacheco's to go over. This week I think it's the opposite. I would favor Pacheco over Hunt's number because this defense potentially allows you more of a chance to break a big one. Like if Pacheco gets a chunk of 15, potentially 20 yards on a carry, then he's gotten you almost halfway there. And I think that that's the running back that is more likely to do it than Hunt is what I'm saying there. So I think Pacheco's number is one that I would be more likely to go over on than Hunt's, but I had that flipped last week.
Yeah. I really am not in love with either guy right now, but I just am looking at the Ravens and saying, and look, the running backs that they faced are also very good. Detroit has 2 very good running backs, and James Cook is like maybe was still one of the more underrated backs in the league because I think we think of him in that next tier of guys when really he might just be in the top tier of guys. So like the Chiefs don't have guys like that, and so maybe that makes the Ravens look a little bit better on the ground defensively. But time's going to tell. What do you think about defensively? What the Chiefs are going to be dealing with? Zay Flowers coming off more of a quiet game. trying to figure out the way that they might try to approach it. I know, they're going to pound Derrick Henry and try to get your defense in the front worn down until he's able to break something through. But really, I do think it all kind of starts with Lamar Jackson and the type of game he'll have. I'll give you his passing yards. 223.5 is the line on Lamar for this game.
The passing total, 223.5. I will say slightly over. Only slightly. Here's the thing. What's Derrick Henry's number? That's what I'm wondering.
I'll find it for you. It feels like whatever it is always iffy because it's the name attached to him is so substantial that you can't roll out there with a low total, even against a team like the Chiefs. And I know that's probably where you're going with this. 83.5 is the number for Henry.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, hammer the under. Hammer it.
Yeah,
hammer the under.
We're talking about the king.
Chiefs have played him very well over the years, man. They
have.
really have. And they've played other top running backs very well. Saquon Barkley, in the last 4 games that the Chiefs have played, has not gotten to his number when playing against this Chiefs defense. Like, say what you will about the Chiefs. They did not win either of those games, but they decided, you know what? No, Saquon, sorry, you're not getting your yards. I think they'll say the same to Derrick Henry.
Sometimes you can say that and then doing it is another thing, but in his only regular season game, I can't remember if there's been a playoff game with Henry. Last year was his only year with the Ravens, right? It was his first year.
That was his first year, yes.
The Chiefs in September of last year, when they had that, was that the opening game?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was the season opener where Isaiah likely had a toe out of bounds. 13 carries for 46 yards. Now, with the Titans, he did have some pretty good games, 115, 86, and 188 on the ground were 3 of his 4 times facing the Chiefs. And then back in 2016, the Chiefs bottled him up decently, but he's had some maybe more good games against Kansas City than we remember. But with the Ravens, they did kind of stymie him last year. 13 carries, 46 yards, did find the end zone, but only averaged 3.5 yards per carry. I would lean under as well, 83.5. But I feel very hesitant to say ever hammer the under when the guy we're talking about is Derrick Henry. But I do agree with the sentiment that that's the side that I like.
Like in a big game, I favor the Chiefs against Derrick Henry for sure. I don't know if you read the total that they had in the AFC Championship game against the Titans in Mahomes' first run to the Super Bowl, but they had to go through the Titans that year, and he had 19 for 69 that day. Got in the end zone. Like, I would still probably pick Derrick Henry to get in the end zone in this game. Like, they'll have a chance. It'll be short yardage, and he'll probably succeed.
How about that, though? In their last game, it was basically 1st and goal from the 2, and they ran him like 3 times. One of them was a pitch off tackle, which was a weird decision.
Yeah, don't do that.
But the fact that they had that goal line stand against Derrick Henry, which was the Lions defense is really playing at a high level, I thought, in that game. But that feels notable. You're right, though. Like, I wouldn't bet him to score a touchdown because the odds are probably like minus 250. It's not really, the juice isn't really worth the squeeze, but I wouldn't bet against it either. Like, he'll probably get 1, and that seems about right. But I agree with you. Like, if he goes 20 for 75, I won't be stunned, and that would still be under this number. So I'm with you. I'm not fading Derrick Henry because I feel like you put that under the universe and he will make you pay. But I do trust the Chiefs' run defense. Over the last several years, they have been very good at bottling up big-time running backs.
Now, what's Lamar Jackson's rushing total?
And that's another matter sometimes, right?
That is.
It's almost like if he wants to do it, which I think against the Lions he didn't. I mean, he took 7 sacks against the Lions in that last game. Yeah. He maybe had everybody covered downfield, but he looked very hesitant. He even was asked about it and said, like, there really wasn't the coverage downfield was tight, and I just didn't really have anywhere to go. The Lions did a very good job of pinning him in. If I'm Steve Spagnuolo, I'll take a peek at that game plan from last week because you can try to take some things from that. I'm sure he's well aware, has faced Lamar a number of times, but the Lions did an excellent job of kind of pinning him into the pocket and not letting him escape. 47.5 is the line for Lamar. It's so tough, Andy, because you could have 2 plays throughout a game where, I mean, it's a 2nd or a 3rd and 22 because of a penalty or whatever the case might be, and Lamar can pick up 17 yards because the Chiefs were just making sure that they didn't beat him, get beat downfield. So 47.5, I'm always inclined to take Lamar's over just knowing how easy he can get there. But it wouldn't shock me either if the Chiefs were able to pin him in just like the Lions did.
That is interesting. I wonder how the Chiefs decide to play that based on watching the tape that the Lions did against Lamar in that game. Anecdotally, I feel like they have had less success trying to contain the rushing ability of Lamar Jackson head-to-head against him before. Like, they've had success against Lamar. They've won, I think, 5 of 6 games against him, but it still hasn't been all that's, I guess, clean when it comes to allowing Lamar to leak out and improvise, because I think they will cover pretty well in this game, but that probably means that you devote a few more resources to the back end and Lamar sees more of an opportunity to leak out. And I have not been all that impressed with the Chiefs pass rush so far. Like, they can still get better, but I haven't been blown away by their ability to get home in some of these games. That needs to change very soon, but we'll see if it does here.
In that season opener last year in September, 16 carries, 122 yards for Lamar Jackson on the ground. So, certainly there have been instances where he has been able to, get the better of the Chiefs in that regard. I mean, that's the most recent example that we have, but it was a loud one. So, I think you pay some attention to that. He was 8 for 54 in the 17-10 playoff loss a couple of years ago to the Chiefs. I guess that was the AFC Championship game. They all kind of blend together, but
that's a low scoring game that we saw as kind of ugly, and he's still, like, if you put that number next to him for that game, he still gets over that. And so he had
a long of 21 in that game. Like, it's just so hard when he runs 8 times. One of them's going for 20 yards.
Exactly.
If not, you did a marvelous job against Lamar Jackson. And frankly, the Chiefs, while they do really good against the opposing running back, and I think you kind of have to keep that in mind, is like, they're going to stop the run. They're going to focus on Derrick Henry, and they're going to say, Lamar can beat you, but we're going to make him, because Derrick Henry pushes the safety to the ground and then he rumbles for 80 yards. And like, that changes the game in a way that, is very difficult for Lamar to run 80 yards. He could throw it 80 yards on a fly, but I think they will focus it. They'll match what they have done against Saquon Barkley and say, look, Henry cannot beat us, because then we have to keep ourselves guessing, like, is he going to gash us for 12, or is it going to be play action, or is it going to be, you get yourselves on your heels too much in that scenario. So I agree. Like, Lamar, 50 yards. Yeah, he'll go over 47.5. That won't kill you. Like, that's not indicative of the Chiefs being in trouble. I think that's just par for the course when you play Lamar Jackson.
Over-unders, you can text them to us, 573-875-KTGR for the Chiefs-Ravens game coming up Sunday. We'll play the same game with Mizzou UMass at 5:05. But up next, we'll talk some Mizzou football with Calum McAndrew of the Columbia Daily Tribune as the Tigers try to stay unbeaten this week, and how that South Carolina win came together for the Tigers last Saturday. Calum joins us next on The Big Show, KTGR.
The Big Show with Andy and Brendan continues next on your total sports station, KTGR.
Columbia just got armed. Minutemen Defense is your new destination for guns, ammo, and tactical gear that means business. From holsters and body armor to night vision and magazines, if you need it, they've got it. Plus, the cheapest ammo in town, guaranteed. Located right off I-70 and Rangeline for fast, easy access. Locally owned, veteran approved, built for serious shooters. Minutemen Defense. Get there. Visit MinutemenDefenseLLC.com.
Right there. That hole opens up, and he did not hesitate to hit it.
Seriously.
You don't have to live like this. Just trying to watch football and laugh at obviously hilarious things the broadcasters say. Your favorite team plays outside. You should be watching them outside on a Crutch's deck.
Yeah, he got penetration there, but he just couldn't finish it.
Yeah. Get a custom outdoor football watching oasis with Crutch's Custom Exteriors. True beauty is on the outside. CrutchesCustomExteriors.com.
We're moving faster and faster these days with limited time to make an impact on potential customers. Hi, this is Jimmy at Pro Design. For nearly 2 decades, we've worked with companies to build strong brands. At Pro Designs, our team can create a vehicle wrap to drive market share, growth, and profits. Connect with your customers on the go, on the road, and on the job site.
Visit us on the web at PRODEZIGNS.com.
Come see them at their locations in Eldon or Columbia off Rangeline Street and I-70.
Pro Designs, but better than a billboard.
Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Free-for-all RV Road Warriors, your best blast of Branson just turned into a bad day bummer. You ran out of gas, blew a tire, killed your battery, are sitting sideways in a ditch, and managed to lock yourselves out. Ouch. Hey, it could happen. And for the save, you call I-70 Towing. They're Mid-Missouri's go-to crew for roadside assistance, too. Fuel, tires, batteries, locks, winching, you name it. When your world seems to have been wrecked, call the team they hope you never have to meet. I-70towing.com. Now serving Boonville. Winching.
It was 2:30 on a Tuesday when the phone rang. Brian Ware Plumbing answered the call. It was a dismayed wife. Fresh off vacation, her and her hubby came home to a wrecked water heater. It had sprung a leak, a bad one. So while the plumbing team took care of that leaky water heater, Brian's certified restoration guide, Josh, with 2 decades of experience, came in to restore the area and stop mold in its tracks. Another day, another job, another expert added to the team. Ho-hum. Better call Brian and unplug your plumbing problems. BrianWarePlumbing.com.
Before the sun comes up and long after it sets, ABC 17 News and Storm Track Weather keep working for you, gathering the information your family needs to take on the day, alerting you to breaking news and health and safety concerns in our area, plus tracking the latest weather conditions to help you plan ahead. It's everything you need to know from the team you trust most. ABC 17 News and Storm Track Weather, where the news comes first.
1851 Underground is one of those cool joints the family would enjoy going even if the food wasn't good. But it is good. Really good. Famous burgers like the 1851, topped with pulled pork and hickory bacon, or the Fire and Ice chicken sandwich with Cholula honey and pepper jack cheese. The Baja fish tacos with crispy fried cod and avocado cream sauce is another favorite. It's not a secret, but it is underground. 1851 Underground in the historic Brick District in Fulton. Find them on Facebook and Instagram.
Tired of calling Andy and Brendan? So are their wives. Then shoot them a text right now. 573-875-KTGR and become part of the Big Show.
Big football weekend coming up here. This upcoming last weekend of September. It's feeling like it. 875 KTGR if you want to join us here on the Big Show. Chiefs and Ravens this weekend. And, of course, Mizzou UMass homecoming. You can also feel that in the air this week as the Tigers take on the Minutemen of UMass to improve to 5-0 on the season. Joining us now, Calum McAndrew of the Columbia Daily Tribune, covers all things Tigers over there at C_McAndrew95. If you want to follow him on Twitter as well. And Calum, coming off of that win against South Carolina into the season, we saw it as Mizzou's the fork in the road game. Now that it's in the past, Mizzou's schedule does seemingly look a little bit tougher on the back end now, but even then it still underscored the importance of getting that first one. Now afterwards, how do you view Mizzou after the win they got in the manner they got it against South Carolina?
Yeah, everything that they wanted in August is still on the table because they beat South Carolina, because they beat Kansas. I think it was on this show that I said kind of fearful that there might be 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 swing games on the schedule, and that's kind of turned out the way that we're looking at it now, the way that we're looking at what the SEC and how it's shaping up and the quality of teams that Missouri still has on the schedule. All of those preseason preconceptions that this was going to be a cakewalk are just flat out wrong. We're moving into this back half of the schedule after UMass. I should qualify, and things get extremely tough. But yeah, if you want to be a college football playoff team, you got to win your home games and you got to win your swing games, and South Carolina was both of those. So a massively important game. I think South Carolina, we can probably start to consider them not being quite the team that most people thought they were in the preseason, but still massively important. You got to win. You got to win those games, those swing games, and Mizzou did.
And obviously, Calum, there was so much intrigue coming into that game with the status of Lenora Sellers. He ended up playing pretty well in terms of the way that he threw the ball against the Missouri secondary. I guess we'll start there. What's been your reaction to not only watching the way that game unfolded, and then the Tigers still seeing some of those lapses in the zone defense that has been a big topic of conversation for the head ball coach over the week that has followed?
Yeah, it's difficult because half of the pass defense is really holding up its end of the bargain. They're putting, you saw, Lenore Sellers has a pretty bad trait for holding on to the ball for too long, and he takes some sacks that he probably shouldn't. But Missouri put pressure on him all evening long. I think PFF credited that the front for 27 pressures. Zion Young alone got 9. I mean, those are just obscene numbers in the pass rush. That's ludicrous. So half of the pass defense is really holding up its end of the bargain, and so is the run defense. Jalen Daniels and Lenora Sellers, two of the better mobile quarterbacks in the country, and holding them to a combined negative rushing yardage is, again, incredible. So, there has to be a little bit of give and take there. If you could stop absolutely every single thing a team was going to do, you would be the national title front runner at this point in the season. That said, it is a problem. We're talking 5 passes that went 30 yards or more against Sellers, and that, that can't happen. That has to get fixed. It's all, as the team has explained it, based on greedy eyes, and it's interesting going watching some of the tape, like the 49-yard touchdown, Santana Banner. You can tell he kind of gets sucked into the play action that Sellers shows and just hangs on a moment too long while Toriano Pride's getting beaten coverage. So it's little things like that, and that seems imminently fixable. But like you said, it's a recurring issue. It's something that plagued Missouri against Boston College, Vanderbilt, Auburn last season. All of those games, we saw deep ball touchdowns because the safeties, the defensive backs, were just a little bit too aware what was going on in the opponent's backfield rather than focusing on their coverage responsibility. So it absolutely has to get fixed, because you look at who Mizzou's got coming up. Alabama and Ryan Williams, Texas A&M and Casey Concepcion and Mario Crave are a couple of the fastest wide receivers in the league. Auburn might have the best starting trio of wide receivers in the country. Oklahoma looks a lot better on that front, depending on John Mateer's health. They don't get an easy pass catching core from here on out, once again, excluding UMass. But they have to fix that, or it is going to burn them at some point, because you can't rely on holding teams to -9 rushing yards every week. It just that ain't going to fly.
Yeah, Calum McAndrew of the Columbia Daily Tribune here on the Big Show KTGR, and they've so far been able to survive on that, just the absolutely stellar run defense. But when you pair that also with the fact that on the other side, they've got 2 running backs that no one can seem to tackle. And Ahmad Hardy gets a lot of that praise, obviously, with how he has looked, and he's gotten a little more of the run. But we talk about, it's maybe too early to talk Heisman because it's still after week 4, but he's already in that conversation, or at least should be at this point, right?
Oh, 100%. His numbers are ludicrous. Legitimately ludicrous. There's every time I see another stat, it's like something you've never seen before. It's disgusting what he's doing to teams. I don't know if there's anyone in the country that can tackle him on first attempt at the moment. 600 rushing yards, a massive percentage of that coming after contact. He has 10 more forced missed tackles than the next best player, the next best running back in the country. It's obscene. It's going to be a little while until until the national folks catch up and start including Ahmad Hardy's name, as Eli Drinkwitz kind of mentioned this week. But yeah, some of these after contact numbers, the pace he's at, it's too early to say Ashton Genty, because he did that over the course of 12-13 games. But Hardy, what he's doing through 4 games is very, very similar in terms of broken tackles and after contact yardage. It's really pretty special what we're watching right now.
And contributing certainly to the success of the Mizzou run game so far, Calum, has been the offensive line. That's not something that can be ignored. And obviously that was a topic of conversation coming into the game as well, with Caden Green. All of a sudden, he's probable, and next thing you know, he's had a procedure and it's going to be out for a number of weeks. Your take on his status and the way that Javen Richardson was able to fill in and just kind of keep things moving, I think, is probably an underrated part of what happened in that ballgame.
Caden Green, it looks like he's out for 3 or 5 weeks, is kind of the initial assessment that they had there. Javen Richardson had I think the best compliment you can pay to an offensive lineman is, did I notice them? And I did not notice Javen Richardson on Saturday while I was watching the game, and that is the highest compliment. He didn't give me any reason to notice him. He didn't make any egregious mistakes. It shows Missouri's got some pretty decent depth there. He is the guy that we thought was going to be the left tackle in the preseason. Obviously, that didn't quite pan out. My cat is going crazy here. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
Oh, I've got one in the background as well. We're cat
multiple cats
show.
are members of the show. We can welcome in the. What's the cat's name? What's the cat's name?
This is Opal.
Opal is a member of the big show now. That's great.
Should I? Yeah. No, he's got thoughts on Caden Green. Apparently, he's got. I don't know if he knows something, but no. Obviously, you would rather have Caden Green back sooner rather than later. He is. My goodness. He is a potential. There he comes. There we go. There goes.
And appearance on YouTube. Love that. Yeah.
Live radio, isn't it? You would rather have him back. I mean, he is a potential first round pick in the future, an exceptional ball player. But I think Missouri looked really solid. The holes that they are able to create for Ahmad Hardy and Jamal Roberts in the run game has been truly exceptional so far. I think there is still a little bit of work to do in pass protection. Bo Porterville has been pretty good at dealing with it, but once again, the competition there's an uptick now, so it has to get a little bit better. But I've been impressed with what I've seen, especially with how much fluctuation there was there, how many preseason changes there were along the offensive line. I've been pretty impressed with what I've seen from them so far.
Calum McAndrew of the Columbia Daily Tribune here on the Big Show KTGR. Your thoughts on the kicking game, Calum, because it was a question coming in, obviously, if there was going to have to be a big kick made, would Robert Meyer have to make it? We kind of learned afterwards that maybe it wasn't going to be Robert Meyer at any point. Oliver Robbins was maybe going to step in on some of those longer kicks based on the week of practice, but this game against UMass seems to be another opportunity for at least one of those guys to get a little more confidence in some of those kicks. Maybe Meyer mostly, because if he has that week of practice, they would probably prefer him in that spot. Do you see that as another chance here, Calum, for him to look, if Mizzou is in a spot where they have a fourth down and usually they might go for it, but here maybe you allow him to pick a longer one?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's, I liked Missouri's plan after Blake Craig went down. I mean, they kind of explained it as just kind of getting his feet wet, just like roll him out slowly, let him kick some PATs, some 22, 23, 24 yarders, whatever, chip shots, let him build his confidence up. But we've learned that maybe the plan wasn't quite to have him out in that situation on Saturday, but out he went and converted a massively important 40-yard kick at the end of the game there. I mean, you were talking about giving Lenora Sellers 100 seconds to go and do what he did to you last year if he doesn't make that kick. A huge moment for a guy that was a preferred walk-on, came out and he proved his mettle. I mean, that is an awesome story, and all due credit to the young guy for going out there and converting when he did in a massive moment. I think you're 100% right. I think this year you can this game, maybe you test his length a little bit. Maybe you give him a few more shots to, hey, prove you can do it, prove to yourself you can do it, because it's half mental, the kicking game. So I think that's probably what you'll see. I think you'll maybe get a few more opportunities this week to go out and just build some confidence. I think you'll certainly have some after that one against South Carolina. Massive moment, but let him go out there and see if you go through the upright.
We'll see how that looks for him. And again, not much to be learned for Mizzou's purposes for a game against UMass, but what do you look for aside from that when they go out there and they try to handle their business the same way they did against Central Arkansas and Louisiana?
Yeah, I think you just want to see a disciplined football team. You don't want to see them take any step back. You don't want to see them look lackadaisical or uninterested. And I don't think they will. I think I think this is obviously a chance that you're going to be able to get maybe Matt Zollers and Marquise Davis and guys like that some additional reps, get them some in-game experience. But you want to see your starters go out there and just flat out execute as well. They did a good job of that for the most part in UMass last year. Look, I mean, this is an 0-3 football team that has an FCS loss this year. They're not going to come to Columbia and really give you a massive challenge unless something wildly unexpected happens. But you want to see your team go out and execute its fundamentals, go out and do what it does well. It's another chance for some game reps. Go out and pretty much pad the stats. Go out there and just perform.
I was going to ask, how much Heisman stat padding do we need to see from Ahmad Hardy in this game to get people to wake up? I know that you can put 300 up on UMass and it may not change the ledger, but it might help with the counting stats to open up some eyes.
I mean, that's entirely up to them. You know, if you want a Heisman Trophy winner, I don't think it's a bad idea. I don't think it's let them go run amok for a little bit.
Why not? Calum, over this week, the SEC released the 4-year rotation of the 9-game schedule for everybody. Mizzou's 3 annuals, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Texas A&M. It seemed that, look, it's kind of the wake-up call for everybody, right? Yeah, the schedule's tougher now. You get an extra game of these. You don't get to hide from anybody. You play everybody at least within a couple-year span. And look, with how that 2027 road swing looks, I mean, that 2026 looks somewhat manageable next to that, even though it probably isn't by any means manageable. But your thoughts on how it shook out for Mizzou this time.
Yeah, I think the popular line around SEC coaches is it is what it is. This week, I think they've all maybe verbatim said that at some point. And you know what? It is what it is. You got to make sure your team can play some ball in the next few years, because it ain't coming easy. I mean, that I've never seen anything like that 2027 road slate for Missouri. I mean, I'm going to have to invest in some earplugs. Those are some loud stadiums they're going to. That's tough. But hey, look, this is the league you're in. This is the competition you signed up for. That's what the money is for. This is what you got to do now. I think it is an improvement for the fans. I think if you look at it as a maybe not so much for coaches, like Eli Drinkwitz has said a couple of times now, it might shorten some of their lifespans. But for the fans, I mean, it's an extra additional fun game a year. It's places that there is just noise going all over the place at the moment in my abode.
All good.
It's another game for fans to enjoy. It's some really cool road environments for fans that want to go travel and see some new places. And as far as the college football playoff goes, probably not going to have to win 10 games all the time under those schedules to be at least in an at-large discussion. I mean, as we're starting to maybe consider a committee weighing strength of schedule a little bit heavier, why not have the toughest schedule in the country every year? It does make sense on that front as well from a conference perspective. So I'm looking forward to it because there are less dud games every year. We will know exactly who all of these teams are pretty much at every given moment moving forward. There's no more fluff. I think it's good for fans. Maybe not so much like Drinkwitz said for coaches, but hey, they'll have to deal with that.
It's what their money's for too.
Yeah,
for all of that. Yeah, for sure. Calum McAndrew of the Columbia Daily Tribune covers all things Tigers. Again, go and subscribe to read his great work. What can folks find right now on the Columbia Tribune from you, Calum?
We've got a deep dive on what it exactly is. The problem in the pass defense. The coverage is kind of took an analytical look at why those are happening and took some context from what Missouri's camp said this week. Got all you could possibly need, I think, going up tomorrow morning to know about UMass if you're super interested in that sort of stuff. If that's some true sicko stuff. But hey, if you're here for it, I wrote it. So it's up there. No, we'll have coverage all weekend of the homecoming game and beyond going into the season. I'm looking forward for an idle week. That's gonna feel pretty good.
We're almost there. All right, we're almost there. So go and check it out from Calum McAndrew. Follow him on Twitter at @C_McAndrew95. Great to have him here on the Big Show, KTGR. Calum, thanks for coming on, and Opal the Cat is welcome anytime as well.
I'll tell him. Thank you.
Thanks for coming on. We'll see you soon. Big Show's on at 4:45 KTGR and the KTGR app. That was great. We have multiple cats now in the Big Show family. Your cat and now Calum.
Yeah, we're all good with cats interrupting the live broadcast. If you watch on YouTube, you will see from time to time my cat cross the desk behind me, try to jump in my lap. It happens. We're used to it.
Yeah, it happens from time to time. We roll with it. All right, Under the Bus coming up next. This graphic from college football on Fox, this Twitter graphic they put up, it seemed like it could have been pared down a little bit, if you ask me. We'll get to that next.
Now, your local Sports Center update on your total sports station, KTGR.
Good afternoon. I'm Andy Humphrey. This Sports Center update is with Lee's Tire Company. If it's round and rubber, Lee's sells it. Go to leestirecompany.com. Full practice for Xavier Worthy, second straight day that he's logged a full practice for the Chiefs as he tries to work back onto the field, dealing with a shoulder injury that he suffered week 1 against the Chargers. Also, full practice for Mike Dana coming back from an injury. He's missed the last game and a half for the Chiefs, as has cornerback Christian Fulton. He was limited at practice today with an ankle injury. Chiefs get set to take on the Ravens at 3:25 on Sunday. The loser of that game falls to 1-3 on the season. Cardinals yesterday could not finish the sweep of the Giants. Giants scored in the bottom of the 8th inning, the go-ahead run to claim a 4-3 win. With the loss, the Cardinals were mathematically eliminated from postseason contention. They're 3 games under 500. Off day today, then their final regular season series is at the Chicago Cubs this weekend. Royals, meanwhile, also dropped a game yesterday, 3-2 to the Angels to even up that series. Royals are back to 500. They'll try to win that series in Anaheim with the rubber game tonight. Michael Lorenzen gets the start for KC. First pitch just after 8:30. Now your ABC 17 Storm Track forecast.
I'm ABC 17 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Jessica Hafner. I'm tracking a nice, clear, and cool night as temperatures drop down into the lower 50s. We could see some potential patchy fog, but overnight temperatures will continue to drop as we get into tomorrow morning. We'll see more sunshine, a high temperature tomorrow in the lower 80s. We're going to see a warm weekend with temperatures in the mid-80s and lows in the mid to upper 50s. I'm ABC 17 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Jessica Hafner, and that's your ABC 17 Storm Track forecast on your total sports station, KTGR.
The Rich Eisen Show.
Ethan Hawke is here. I started my life a Cowboys fan, 13 years old, and I remember going out back just weeping. It was the first awakening that life just wasn't going to always go your way.
Sports is an excellent metaphor for that sort of stuff.
Since then, I have found that athletics has more to teach you about the fundamental natures of mankind than Tolstoy does.
Catch The Rich Eisen Show weekdays from 11 to 2 on KTGR and the KTGR app.
Hi, everyone. Andy Humphrey here for ProfitShares.com. If you haven't heard of it before, I'm sure you're going to like it, especially if you like picking the winner of these games that we've got coming up for the full football weekend, college and pro. And if you like to play risk-free, you don't want to put any money in, ProfitShares.com lets you play completely for free, and it lets you win prizes if you do well enough, too. You can redeem your points for things like gift cards or charitable donations to your favorite causes, and it's very simple. Each and every week, you can enter into the Profit Picks contest for football, either college or pro, make your picks, and the more you climb up the leaderboard, the more points you can earn, and you can enter in every single week. And again, you're not spending a thing, totally risk-free to play over at ProfitShares.com. Hey, you're a sports know-it-all, right? Go and show it over at ProfitShares.com. Invite your friends to sign up as well so you can play against them. That's PROPHET shares.com. Go to ProfitShares.com and start playing today.
You know that old driver in the corner of your garage? The one half jammed into an old golf bag that's now serving as a spider hotel? Yeah, somebody wants that driver, you know. Play it against sports. They'll pay you for the gear you're not using. Golf equipment, fitness gear, baseball, softball, and more. Bring it in and cash out, or upgrade to something you need for the upcoming season. Play it against sports once your used equipment. They need it. So don't sit on it, swing on it. Play it against sports in Columbia. Think of them first so you don't finish last. Play it against sportscolumbiamo.com.
Let's talk numbers, because if you're a fan of stats, you'll want to hear this. Flight by Yuengling has just 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's light beer that actually brings some game day flavor. Whether you're at the tailgate or watching from the couch, Flight delivers that crisp, refreshing taste without the extra baggage. Brewed by the oldest brewery in America, so you know it's legit. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Imagine a marketing tool for your business that will keep your current customers coming back while adding new ones in the process. It can happen when you offer gift certificates on shopmidmo.com. You'll build your customer base, keep top of mind, help people save money, and they'll love you for it. Shopmidmo.com is the perfect place for restaurants, retail, and entertainment experiences to build their foundation. Join the family of businesses having success making new customers and keeping their current ones happy. Contact us now at shopmidmo.com.
Shopmidmo.com.
When the Tigers score, you score at your Columbia Hy-Vee. For every point Mizzou scores on Saturday, when you shop at Hy-Vee on Tuesdays, you can earn that many cents towards your Perks Fuel Saver when you make a purchase of that value or more. They score 40, you earn 40 cents for every $40 you spend. Get free gas just for shopping at Hy-Vee. If you don't have perks yet, just ask to sign up at customer service. When the Tigers score, you score on Touchdown Tuesdays. Only at Hy-Vee.
Discover, explore, and soak in the views of the incredible landscapes that make up the last frontier, Alaska. Experience the diverse culture and rich history as we cruise the Pacific coast and explore the wilds of Denali, Glacier Bay, and beyond. And boy, do we have some good news. There are currently still seats available, but don't wait, as you only have until October 3rd to book this once-in-a-lifetime trip. To RSVP and learn more, go to ZimmerCommunications.com today.
If it's Mizzou sports, it's happening here. Now, back to the big show on KTGR.
This isn't necessarily wronging anyone, but it seemed a little unnecessary to me. This graphic that was posted by Fox on or College Football on Fox, their Twitter account. We're going to show it to you here on our YouTube channel, but we'll describe it to folks who can't see it. So they put out a graphic of the longest active home winning streaks among FBS teams heading into this weekend. And it goes Georgia with the longest streak so far at 33. Then the next team after that, it's Washington, then Oregon, then Mizzou, then Alabama. And then it posted this with the caption of, whose home streak is at risk this weekend? Well, Mizzou fans kind of scoff at that a little because you're hosting UMass this weekend. Like, come on.
Yeah, Mizzou has got to be, of the teams on this graphic, the least likely to lose their home streak this weekend.
Well,
against UMass. I mean, come on.
They actually aren't, because
what?
No, they're not. Because worse than that, two of these teams on this graphic don't have home games this weekend. Oregon is at Penn State and Alabama is at Georgia. And so that just, you've eliminated three teams in this graphic and asking folks whose home streak is at risk. Well, the three teams, it can't be any of those three. So you've narrowed it down to Georgia and Washington, who, albeit, have pretty tough home matchups. Georgia, of course, hosting Alabama. Washington is hosting Ohio State. So, like, you can debate which ones those two are most at risk of losing their streak, but do you have to rope the other three teams in there? Like, they can't. Like, they can't this weekend. It's not happening.
Yeah, I do appreciate being on the graphic because, you know, if they had just included the other two, Mizzou wouldn't have gotten the recognition for the 14 consecutive home wins. I will still say, though, respectfully going to disagree, Andy. Mizzou has a lesser chance of losing its home streak this weekend than does Oregon and Alabama. I know they don't play at home, but I think there's still a higher chance for those teams to lose.
I don't know how that math works out in my head. Okay.
No, I don't either.
All right. Well, I believe you then. We'll just leave it at that, I suppose. Also, under the bus to Lincoln Riley, complaining about kick times today in his media session, or I believe yesterday, asked about it and said, well, we've got last week we had the absolute latest kick time possible. And this week we have the absolute earliest kick time possible. It is what it is. But, you know, we don't make the schedule clearly. Come on, man. Look at your salary. Look at how much you make and deal with it. Like, come on. What are we doing here?
I mean, shoot. They moved one of Mizzou's games 2 days before the game. They moved the game time, and Drinkwitz just tweeted, "The great ones adjust." So, Lincoln, would you just adjust and quit your whining, please? Thank you.
No, because he's apparently not a great one.
As though look, man, USC moved to the Big Ten. These are the sorts of things that are going to happen. I'm sorry, but this was part of the deal.
Yeah. And it's like he didn't necessarily know that going in, but who knows?
I think he had an inkling.
The move was made for football, so you got to be ready for anything when you're the football coach. Like the soccer coach can complain, but you, probably not. Well, I mean, this team's broken my heart over the last couple of weeks, but I can recognize the greatness Mariners clinched the division yesterday, and it was essentially on the heels of Cal Raleigh reaching 60 home runs. He hit number 59 and number 60 last night for the Mariners. His season has been incredible. It's been undercovered, but no less brilliant from a guy that no one expected this from, but he has clearly exceeded all expectations and wowed everyone. I just wish he wasn't on the West Coast to be playing those games, because otherwise we'd be singing his praises every day.
Yeah, the Mariners have been on an unbelievable run. They still have 4 games remaining. We could be talking about the new all-time AL home run king by the time it's all said and done. Aaron Judge had his 62. Does Cal Raleigh have 3 more in him?
Oh, I hope so.
In the next 4 games. I hope he does. I hope he hits one tonight so that we really can be amped up for the weekend. It is funny to wonder, though. Remember when Aaron Judge was doing that and they were cutting in with live at-bats in the middle of college football games? And I doubt they're doing that for Cal Raleigh. I'm just saying a little bit of Yankees bias probably, but I want to see Cal Raleigh in the middle of Alabama, Georgia this weekend. That's all I'm saying.
Cal Raleigh's going to do it without the juice baseballs, too. That's even better. Look at that.
Oh, Aaron Judge had the benefit of the special Yankee balls and the porch at Yankee Stadium. Cal Raleigh's is legit.
Cole, go get it done, Cal. We're all rooting for you. All right. Mizzou UMass over-unders, 505. We'll try to make up our own without the help of the sports books. And Play Fade Eliminate coming your way at 525. Get your fantasy football questions in.
I'm Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway. Human trafficking is modern-day slavery, and it often hides in plain sight. Be alert. People who seem fearful, isolated, or who don't have their ID or money may need your help. To share a tip, call the National Human Trafficking Hotline at 888-373-7888. Together, we can protect victims and stop trafficking in Missouri.
Paid for by the Missouri Attorney General's Office.
Hi, my name's Noah Carter with Zimmer Communications. When I took this job, I was extremely nervous because it was just unlike anything I'd ever done before, but I definitely shouldn't have been, as working here has just been so incredible because you get to help out all these different business owners, something that I never thought that I would do before. You know, you just have a phenomenal support system, anything from the bosses to creative to my fellow consultants to everybody in between. I just know I'll get all the assistance I need to be successful.
If you're up for the challenge, apply now at ZimmerCommunications.com.
Sons of insects, I am Bart the bedbug. But Bart the bedbug stands 5 millimeters tall. So I've heard. I've also heard he bites humans by the hundreds. And if he were here, he'd wreak havoc amongst the bed sheets. I am Bart the bedbug, and I see a whole army of ants and rodents, spiders and bedbugs here, in defiance of those who walk upon 2 legs. You've come to invade as free bugs, and free bugs you are. What would you do without freedom? Will you invade? Invade? No, we'll scurry off and live. Aye, scurry and you'll live, but dying in your nests many days from now. Would you trade all those days for one chance, just one chance to come back here and tell the humans that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom? Oh, is that Steve's? Never mind, scurry!
I'm Steve with Steve's Pest Control. We will eliminate your pest problem and stop the fall pest invasion. I guarantee it.
Steve's Pest Control. KTGR AM Columbia. KTGR FM Fulton Columbia. K286CL Columbia. In Missouri's total sports station. KTGR.
Is Sports Center.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Final week of the Major League Baseball regular season. Couple of games in progress. The Mets holding on to the final wild card spot in the NL, up a half game on the Reds after their win today. D-backs a game back and falling behind. They trailed the Dodgers big this afternoon, 8-0 LA in the bottom of the 8th inning. Freddie Freeman with a pair of home runs this afternoon has driven in 3. Shohei Ohtani going deep as well, his 54th home run of the season to lead the National League. Elsewhere in the AL, the Astros a game back at the Tigers for the last wild card spot in the American League. They're all over the A's this afternoon. It's 10-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Jose Altuve, Isaac Paredes, and Christian Walker all have multiple RBIs. In college football, Oklahoma quarterback John Mateer posting on social media and his hand surgery was a success today. Early Heisman Trophy frontrunner set to miss about a month after suffering the injury in Saturday's win over Auburn.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. At Progressive, we offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options to cover your small business needs and more. Visit Progressive.com today.
From Faro,
15 to the 10, to the house,
Bush,
back to the wall, and it's got her!
and Arrowhead,
Touchdown! Kansas City!
to your speakers.
This is the big show, baby!
Get fresh takes on the biggest sports stories in mid-Missouri. Right now, this is The Big Show with Andy and Brendan on KTGR.
Second hour here on The Big Show. We'll play the over-under game with Mizzou UMass coming up on Saturday. You can text in numbers that you want us to weigh in on, and whether we'll go over or under, at 875-KTGR. You can also leave us a comment on our YouTube channel at KTGR Sports. You can also text us fantasy football questions, because at 525, we'll try to help you out with your fantasy teams, which you got to get ready tonight for the Thursday night game. As always, make sure you get back into that routine again. And then, of course, get ready for the Sunday action in the NFL. But we'll have Play, Fade, Eliminate coming your way at 525. So we help you out with that. 875-KTGR if you want to call or text us today. But first, it's 5 o'clock.
It's time for the top 5 at 5 on The Big Show. Number 1.
If you want to trade away for curtain number 1, you can have curtain 1.
Well, it's Mizzou game week, homecoming week, so it's a big one. Technically not a bye week, as UMass does roll into town. But this might well be the worst team Mizzou faces all year, and I'm counting Central Arkansas and I'm counting Louisiana. UMass has lost a home game to FCS Bryant. Bryant has a football team, apparently. Yeah, there's not a lot in the way of things to say from like a strategic standpoint approaching this game. I will not be respecting my opponent this week, especially when we come up with some crazy over-unders here in just a few minutes. You can call or text us with yours. The main thing, get out of the game healthy, and honestly give Robbie Meyer some field goal opportunities to continue getting his feet wet.
Number 2.
Number 2, your timing is impeccable.
I saw a social media video earlier today of Xavier Worthy at Chiefs practice dancing some more. A full practice. Surely he's going to play this week. I don't know what they'd be waiting for. If not, the Chiefs, of course, will be looking to avoid falling to 1-3 when they play the Ravens. That's a big one. I do think the Chiefs can survive a 1-3 start, but it wouldn't be ideal. We'll see what the offense can do against a Ravens defense that has given up quite a bit so far in terms of explosive plays this year. And on the NFL track, Play, Fade, Eliminate for Thursday Night Football tonight will help guide your fantasy teams at 525.
Number 3.
Cardinals officially eliminated last night from postseason contention. Sonny Gray pitched pretty well in the game, but the Cardinals fell to the Giants 4-3. Gray spoke after the game as though he is now maybe more open to waiving his no-trade clause this time around. Didn't want to do it before this season. I think he sees the writing on the wall. The Cardinals are going to look a lot different in 2026 with Arenado and Gray definitely looking as good as gone, possibly more, even before we get into the offseason.
Number 4.
Oh, Shanty.
Looks like we got some Mizzou recruiting news as well from Hayes Fawcett of Rivals, saying that the elite JUCO defensive lineman DeMarcus Johnson has committed to Missouri, evidently ranked the number 2 JUCO recruit in the country per Rivals. He's listed at 6'8", 260 out of Missouri City, Texas. It's a big boy.
Number 5.
Where's the 5 fingers? Say to the face. Slap.
I know it probably pains Andy a little bit, given that Cal Raleigh plays for a division rival of his Astros, but my goodness, 60 home runs by a switch-hitting catcher is unheard of. Some of the rate stats aren't quite what Aaron Judge is doing, but Raleigh still has time to surpass the AL record of 62 home runs hit by Judge. I just wonder, is Cal Raleigh going to win the MVP over Judge?
That's the Big Show's Top 5 at 5 on KTGR.
Call or text us here at 875-KTGR. I would hope so, but I just cannot see it happening, man. Like, it'll be because of the name, but yeah, it'll still be Aaron Judge.
I mean, it's not just the name. Like, the rate stats are definitely a good indicator of the kind of season that you had. Judge has hit 51 home runs. I would say like the story is Cal Raleigh, and especially if he ends up tying or breaking the AL record of 62. But that's just home runs, and the rest of the numbers do suggest that Judge has had a better offensive season. But then do you bake in the rigors of being a catcher within that and still posting a 959 OPS? It's very good. Aaron Judge has an 1136 OPS. I mean, I don't have a vote. I wouldn't anyway, even if I did this year, because it's an American League team. I would vote on the NL, but I think I'd probably have to vote for Judge because the numbers in terms of everything beyond the homers have been overwhelming in Judge's favor. How much do you bake in the catching aspect of that, I suppose? Normally we just look at offensive stats with guys. Raleigh as a catcher, is guiding. I'd have to look and see exactly how many games has he caught, but, guiding a pitching staff that's obviously doing a good enough job for the Mariners to, come from behind and win that division. He's catching a bunch, though. 120 games looks to lead the American League, according to what I've seen. So, he's made 118 starts at catcher, has more putouts than anybody in the American League. He's not just a guy that's like a part-time catcher and DHing. He's mostly been a catcher.
Yeah.
That absolutely should bake in. I just don't really know what the threshold is. How much do you value that relative to superior offensive stats other than the home run category? We've never seen a season like this. And so I would love to think that Raleigh could get the credit, but I also see those numbers by Judge, and they are eye-popping to his credit.
Please let it be Cal Raleigh. And I'm speaking of a guy that not necessarily liked the Mariners over the last few years or so. Their fans have been kind of, I don't know about them. But their team is heck of a lot of fun. I've never denied that. Whenever they're playing somebody else, I sometimes find a way to watch that game because I know something electric is going to happen, or their atmosphere is going to be great, or Cal Raleigh is going to hit 2 bombs and or whatever it is. That is a heck of a fun team. And I've got it. Take Aaron Judge off of the Yankees. They're probably not a good team, but they've got other guys that they can get offense from. Take Cal Raleigh off the Mariners. What happens?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the value conversation. Every writer gets a chance to kind of decide how to vote on it, you know, but that's a consideration, I think, for a lot of people is that notion of value to a team. They're going to win the AL West. They've clinched that. I'm sorry. I made fun of you throughout the summer about your doom and gloom Astros, but you might have been right. The
injuries they got another cavalcade of injuries after you talked about it. And then, look, they're dropping pop-ups in Sacramento to let runs score and stuff like that.
They're dropping pop-ups in Sacramento. It's low. It's
look,
situation.
The team clearly is not playing like they want to be in the playoffs. So you know what? Why should I want them? Why should I want to watch them in the playoffs? I've come to peace with that.
Okay,
they are winning right now, but wow, just in time.
I don't think.
Right?
I think it might be a little late.
Yeah.
Where are they at right now? A game behind? Or
they're a game behind. They'll win against the A's today, and I think the Tigers play later tonight, and so they could be tied afterward, but they don't have any tiebreakers, so it's still gonna be tough. But yeah, that's where the conversation comes down for me. Take the player off the team. What happens to the team? I think Cal Raleigh being anywhere else other than Seattle is not at the bottom of that division. The bottom of that division is pretty bad, but they are not at all a playoff team. They probably would have been eliminated by early this month from postseason contention. And so I come back to that every time. And again, Cal Raleigh is doing something that we have never seen before. Aaron Judge has hit the same number of home runs that we've seen. Aaron Judge, yes, the rate stats are incredible. We haven't seen a whole lot of that.
You have Aaron Judge fatigue. He's so great that it's just that old hat. I don't think that's fair.
No, it's that he is still up. This is a very tough conversation. We are splitting hairs with this, which is why I lean to the side of the guy that is emerging from a group of players that would never be doing this. And so Cal Raleigh is that to me. Switch hitting catcher, first of all, you just don't see that at all. And then to hit 60 home runs, and potentially break Aaron Judge's record. Like, I feel like if he breaks the record, it shouldn't even be a conversation, but whether that's just me.
But that's a very one-sided argument because home runs are cool, but it's not the only stat. And it's not the only stat that implies value. If it's the MVP, most valuable player, leads the league in batting average, both leagues. I mean, he leads the majors in average on-base slug and therefore OPS. Most walks in the American League, most runs scored in the American League. Cal Raleigh's going to lead majors in homers and RBIs. He's going to do that, it looks like. Although, is there somebody in the NL with more RBIs? There must be.
Could be.
He doesn't have an italicized stat there. I'll have to look
I will
up.
acknowledge that Cal Raleigh's value is more unspoken and more underlying from from the numbers. But I just
Schwarber. Schwarber's got 132.
Yeah.
And he might get to 60.
I mean,
he needs 4 homers in 3 games to get to 60.
Wow.
Another great season.
875-KTGR if you want to call or text us here. You can weigh in on that conversation. Aaron Judge or Cal Raleigh, who would you pick for MVP in the American League? In the meantime, over-unders, Mizzou and UMass. Brendan will go over on every number that includes a Mizzou offensive player.
I will if it's rushing yards. I will if it's right. Remember the Louisiana game, I tried to set a number that said as high as you want, team rushing yards. And I think we came up with 349.5, and I was like, over.
Yeah.
They ended up with 400 something rushing yards.
Right.
399.5.
399.5.
Over under.
Okay.
Rushing alone. I'm not saying total offense. Rushing.
Team rushing. Team rushing, you're saying 399.5. Okay.
Well, no, that's just Hardy. We'll go to the others.
Oh,
no, just kidding. Let's start with the team.
Here's the thing.
Because the breakdown is going to be hard to project.
Yes. I will say I'll say over.
You darn right you will. Score record? Can we get there?
The score, the record that they had against Colorado back in the 90s, it was 5-16. Yeah. That was what it was. I don't think that's in danger still.
It might be.
I'll say, here's what I'll say. Hot take. I don't know. This isn't an over-under.
Okay.
I don't think Ahmad Hardy will be the leading rusher in this game.
Okay. I would say he would be favored to be the leading rusher because these boys from UMass can't tackle him. He's going to have an 80-yarder. Like he's going to have he's going to break one in this game.
Right.
So maybe longest touchdown run by a Tiger could be a fun over-under. We could come up with that line.
All right.
Hardy would be the favorite. If I were setting the odds on who would be the second favorite, it would not be Jamal Roberts. It would be Marquise Davis as the second most likely Tiger to lead the team in rushing this weekend. In the Louisiana game, Roberts did not get to 100 yards. Marquise Davis did.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be very similar to that. Hardy, I think, needs to get his 150, 200 yards. Obviously, all in the first half.
For the Heisman conversation.
To keep the Heisman drumbeat. They're going to give him, and it's not like they're going to have to try and pad his stats. He's going to do it because he's great.
Okay.
But Drink will make sure he at least gets 100. I mean, he's going to health provided.
Yeah.
He'll get his 100 plus. I hope it's 200.
Right.
Because again, like when we talk with Calum and we talk with people about what this looks like when it comes to the Heisman, he mentioned Ashton Genty, which like absolutely he did it for a full season. But he also did it against some lesser competition. He ran all over Oregon. That was like his staple game. But otherwise, a lot of those games in the Mountain West, it was, he's playing San Diego State and Fresno. And, you're going to rack up numbers that way. It's okay. It's not stat padding to make sure that when you have a UMass on your schedule, you get Hardy the counting stats because there may come an SEC game where he doesn't get 100 yards. I don't know if that'll happen, but it may. And so with that in mind, I'm okay with getting the number so eye-popping because he leads the conference in rushing by like multiple 100 yards.
Yeah.
Get a couple hundred this week, and then Marquise Davis can get 100, 150 in the second half. But was that your take that it would be Marquise Davis and not Hardy?
Well,
or do you like Roberts?
No, I think Roberts maybe has a shot at being that. Like he can get to 100 yards in this game potentially. But I agree that Davis has if you give him chances in the second half, then yes, there will be more rotate. But I mean, maybe they rotate more of Tavoris Jones in there. Maybe they go back to Haygood. I mean, there are several other guys that could rotate in and out in that second half to where that probably limits Marquise Davis's carries a little bit. So no, Davis has a good chance, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jamal Roberts ends up being the guy that breaks off maybe one more long run than Hardy does. It's very possible. Keep in mind that
a lot of Davis in the second half.
Keep in mind, Jamal Roberts right now is averaging more yards a carry than Ahmad Hardy.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
And the other thing, and maybe part of this is because of what Mizzou did to Louisiana. Louisiana ranks 133rd out of 136 FBS teams in rush defense.
Yeah.
UMass is only 104th. Like they have given up 196 yards per game on the ground.
It's a lot.
Technically, on a per game basis, we've seen Louisiana be worse. But again, UMass hasn't played Mizzou yet. UMass is about to go down in this category. UMass played Iowa, and you'd think, they probably ran all over them. They didn't really. They threw for 179 yards. Iowa as a team didn't rack up as many rush yards, only 201. So, there wasn't an outlier game there. Temple ran all over this team, though, 191 yards against Temple. Right. Temple's not a good team. So, this is one of the worst rush defenses in the country. I feel pretty confident saying that. I think they're worse than Louisiana. My gut tells me that they're going to be even less effective than Louisiana.
The top to bottom, both sides of the ball combined, I would agree with that. So we'll see.
This is the worst team on Mizzou's schedule.
Yeah.
I think Central Arkansas would beat these guys on a neutral field. I think UMass is that bad.
875 KTGR. Call or text us with your over-unders for Mizzou UMass. Let's go to Old Jay on the KTGR hotline now. Old Jay, what you got for over-unders?
Okay, I got 3.
All right. Ready, Brendan?
Take your order.
Yeah.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Half a touchdown thrown by Matt Zollers.
Okay.
1.5 touchdowns scored by running backs not named Roberts or Hardy.
Okay.
And 1.5 UMass players questioning their life choices after trying to tackle Hardy.
Oh, boy.
Well,
it's not their fault.
What was the first one?
Old Jay, you're on the big show. It was Zowers, half a touchdown pass for Zowers.
Oh, under on that, because I think they're going to keep if Sam Horn were healthy, the number would be over. They'd be a little bit more willing to let Zollers play. I think they have to sort of keep Zollers in bubble wrap a little bit.
Do they? Sure.
I mean, because Bo's playing his game, and at some point you got to.
But Bo's the one you put in bubble wrap for this game. You let Zollers play, right?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't. I think you do a few play action little screens to get Bo some passing yards and some touchdowns. Zollers is going to play, but he played a lot in the Louisiana game. How much did
he not throw a lot? No, he only had 3 pass attempts.
Yeah.
But is that is that more of a danger to his health? I don't get that part of it. I think they should let him throw some more.
He was 2 for 2 for 5 yards. Over under 2.5 pass attempts by Zollers in this game.
I'll say over.
I will say under. I'll say under. I think it'll be very identical to how it went in the second half last week. And I'm okay with that. Yes, you always want to be smart if you're Bo Prabula in a game like this. But we've talked a lot about how he's just got to still play his game. If you lose Zollers before you lose Bo, let's say something freakish happens to Zollers because of I'm not even going to put it out into the universe. That really does change of where it's you don't even have another, you're running the Ahmad Hardy option offense if you don't have Bo.
Okay, but we should be more worried about this with Bo Prabula. And so,
but Prabula,
I understand about it. But if that happened to Prabula and Zollers has only thrown 5 pass attempts because we were keeping him safe in these games, no, you've got to let him throw. You've got to see what it looks like because potentially he could be the guy. So actually, you need to go the other way. You got to let him throw some more in a game like this.
I don't totally agree with you, but I see where you're coming from. Under on the passing touchdowns. I just don't think if they get in the red zone, let's say they get a turnover and they're at the 10 going in, do you draw up a pass play to get the kid a touchdown opportunity? Yes, but I just think they'll run the ball so easily that there won't be the need to do it. So that's my take there. Only 46 rush yards for Roberts in that Louisiana game. I think he is also too important to end up with 100 yards in this game. Unless he gets him in the first half, which could happen, someone's breaking a long run And so let me ask it this way: over under 2.5 Mizzou rushers with 100 or more yards.
2.5. Oh, I'll say under
Yes.
on that.
Okay.
I think
I'm
the better
inclined to
number
say
is
over.
1.5, but we'll see.
What would you say on that?
Potentially over. I think. Yeah.
Oh, I'm slamming over on that.
I think it'll be 2. I would say under on 2.5, but I think it'll be 2.
I don't think it's a better number. I think it's obviously over 1.5 and more very strongly likely under 2.5. But I would take over on both. Not Prabula though. I don't want him running in this game.
Well,
I think all 3 running backs get there.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. Old Jay's other way, he said 1.5 players on UMass questioning their life decisions, but
that's over. That's over.
All right. Well,
as is their football careers after they leave UMass.
Oh,
yes.
Come on.
Come on.
Let's go. The other one was 1.5 touchdowns scored by running backs not named Hardy or Roberts.
Was it just running backs or was it?
I believe it was I think it was just running backs. Yeah.
If it's total players, it'll be over because Bo might sneak one in. He'll throw one to a tight end or a receiver. They get to the red zone.
Rushing touchdowns, I think, was the question. So maybe rushing
Marquise
touchdowns
Davis,
by Bo Prabula potentially, but I think the question was rushing touchdowns by a running back not named Hardy or Roberts.
I'll still say I like the over because I think the whole second half is Marquise Davis. Like the defense is going to have a better time in this game than Louisiana. I don't think they allow a UMass runner to break an 80-yard run like happened to Mizzou against Louisiana. So I view it very similar to the Louisiana game. If I end up getting stumped and I'm wrong, then so be it. Like it's not going to be a close game. I'm not concerned. Just keep everybody healthy. But I think, Mark, a better question. Have you seen those graphics that are posted on Twitter of the top 10 rushers in the SEC every week? And Mizzou still has 2 of them.
Yeah.
Arkansas has their quarterback and their top running back. Over under 2.5 after this week because Marquise Davis goes for like 200 yards and joins and is a top 10 SEC rusher on the season after this week.
No, I'll say under on that. It'll come close, but I mean, we'll see what other guys do. It's so hard to gauge what other players on that list are going to do. That'd be hilarious.
For even 1 week of the season.
Oh yeah.
Like get 100 yards for Roberts so he stays on the list. And then I think you'd need a couple hundred from Davis to get him in the conversation. And then you'd have 3 in the top 10, all running backs. That would be so cool.
Like you save that tweet, you bookmark it, you screenshot it, whatever, and you just
and if you're Curtis Looper, you frame it on the wall of the facility.
Guy's been an awesome
He's
coach.
a stud.
He's legit. Shane texting in Mizzou 350 yards rushing. I think you said over on that.
Yeah, I'll take 399.5. I will take.
Did
the
I
over.
say over on 399.5?
You did.
Yeah,
you can change your mind though.
I mean, that's a lot. Wow.
I'll give him the school record. I don't see why not. Give him 516.
Yeah, I'll go over on not the school record, but I'll go over. I'll get to 400. He said 54 points. The team total. A couple of people asking about the team total. 54 points from Shane. Landon guessing around 49.5. Saying, look, this team gave up 47 to Iowa, so it's a lot, but you have to go over, right? Iowa,
I'm telling you,
scored 47.
Yeah. I'm looking at the Mizzou line on this game is substantial. 44.5 is the point spread that I'm seeing with a game total at 55.5. I'm going to take a single digit number for UMass's point total in this game. I don't think they get to 10. So yeah, I kind of like Mizzou spread and over in this game, honestly, if you want to find a jurisdiction of legality to parlay that. Mizzou hangs 50. I think they'll score another 50-plus points in this game. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it looks more like that Louisiana game, which they got to 50 there, but it'll come down to how far they want to go with it. Eli Drinkwitz can pick the final score, so like that's the tough part about it. Like, do they call off the dogs in the middle half of the fourth quarter?
But what does that mean? They're still going to call offensive plays, and if Marquise Davis runs right over these kids from the foliage, sure. I mean, it's just you can't really stop scoring. It's
hard to not.
So we'll see.
Over under 1.5 punts by Mizzou.
Over. There will be, in the second half, there will be a couple drives where they don't really throw the ball. They'll run, incompletion. Like that could happen twice. So I'll take the over on the punts. Over under.
Want to go over under on drop kicks?
Well, I do not want to talk about drop kicks. I do not. Hopefully the thing of that is,
I think that was more for South Carolina than anybody else, but
I think so. And because of the return man, I think Robbins can get it through the end zone. I really do. So I would let him honestly practice that in this game and see, okay, what's his touchback rate so that next time you have a tough returner, how confident can you be that he can get it through? I think is actually a really valuable thing to practice this week.
Yeah. That's right.
Field goal attempts by Robbie Meyer. How about this? Field goal attempts over 40 yards by Robbie Meyer. Like, do they try to manufacture a couple looks for him to get more of that vibe? I'll put it at 1.5 of 40 or longer that he tries in this game.
Oh, please let it be over. I want to see more of that. And
I'll do it on purpose.
Yeah.
I'll call a run play on 3rd and 7 just to hope that I don't get it if it's going to be like a 50-yarder, just to try one, because they're going to be up by enough points to do it. It's a one example in a rare situation where, like, the score is, it doesn't matter. Like, you don't need to say, don't kick on 3rd down. That would be kind of a unsportsmanlike, and Drink, I don't think would do that. But I really do think find Robbie Meyer a couple chances to work this out in a real game beyond the kick that he had against South Carolina.
Adam says 63-6. That's his final score prediction.
I could see it. Yeah.
Dave and Como essentially asking, is there going to be a pick six by Mizzou in this game?
UMass doesn't.
They're starting a new quarter. They're starting a freshman quarterback that I don't know how much he's played in this one, but Drinkwood said that in his press conference, that's probably the better quarterback that they have. And so maybe he does something different than what
they had. 2 quarterbacks combined for 93 yards on 22 attempts in a loss to Iowa. So that's negative game script. They still only threw it 22 times. Yeah, I don't think you're going to, maybe you get a pick 6, but they might not throw enough to even have it.
The thing is, it's not necessarily an indictment on it is, but you can't predict that on a certain passing attack based on how bad they are. It all depends on situation and angle and everything else with somebody getting a pick 6. Like, there just has to be open space most of the time.
Here's one for you. Louisiana had 4 first downs against Mizzou. Yeah. UMass had 7 first downs against Iowa. Mizzou beat Central Arkansas 61-6. Central Arkansas had 15 first downs. How many first downs? Where do we set the line for UMass first downs?
5.5.
They might get there, but it won't be much more than that they do.
I'll say over on that. Yeah, I think 7 is probably where they'll end up.
They should keep them out of the end zone. I don't think UMass should score a touchdown. I would take under half a touchdown. Just don't turn the ball over. Like, that's the only reason that that in the one long explosive play.
One play is all it takes, though. Like, it happened against Louisiana, and it can happen here. But
there could be. Can I say there might be a little bit of a letdown in this game defensively? Oh. I don't want to see him score a touchdown, but I could see, and Drink won't be happy about it in the post game. But like, the timing of the Louisiana game was such that you come off the Kansas game, but it was like, we still haven't played a conference game. You still don't know what you're made of. You have to show it. You have to STP. You have to prove it. And they really, I felt like, came locked in mostly on defense in that Louisiana game and just dominated for 4 quarters. This game feels the same. Can you drum up the same level of, like, a bye week's coming, that Alabama's way off into the future, so you're not really like as locked in. This will be a challenge to dominate for 4 quarters the way that they did Louisiana. I believe in Drink to get them there. But as much as I'm saying under on the touchdowns, if I end up being wrong about one thing of these over-unders, it might be that, or do they just have a little bit of a lapse and take their eye off the ball for a moment? I hope I'm wrong. I think they're more than capable of, winning this game by 50 plus. Don't let this turn into like a 38-17. Like, this game should look like the others on the scoreboard have.
Call or text us. Over-unders for Mizzou and UMass, 875-5847 here on The Big Show. You can also text in your fantasy football questions. We'll have Play, Fade, Eliminate coming your way next on KTGR.
Follow The Big Show on Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube. And keep it here on your total sports station, KTGR.
Well, it's a full football weekend once again, and it's time now to download the Underdog Fantasy app and start playing, putting together entries, and you could win cash based off of those football performances this weekend. Whether you like college or pro football, doesn't matter. You can make picks based on your sports knowledge and win money, Brendan.
No doubt about it, Andy, and I will roll with Thursday night football, NFC West matchup between the Seahawks and Cardinals. And I was looking at both these teams. They've given up quite a few receptions to running backs this season, and I think there are two good running backs playing in this game that might get involved as receivers. So my entry is pretty simple. Higher than 12.5 receiving yards for Kenneth Walker, higher than 21.5 receiving yards for Trey Benson. That's my entry for Thursday night.
I like it. It's that simple. Pick a few players, go higher or lower on their stats. If you get all those picks right, you could win up to 5,000 times your money, even if you're playing with as little as $1. It's that easy to play. Available in Missouri right now, Underdog Fantasy. Be one of the millions of fans that have already won billions making plays on Underdog. Download the app today and sign up with promo code KTGR to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code KTGR. Must be 18 or older and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
School's back. Schedules are packed, and the last thing you need is a list of home repairs. So reclaim your weekends with Bags Homeworks, the fastest, most affordable handyman service in mid-Missouri. Whether it's mounting that new TV, fixing leaky faucets, or replacing a ceiling fan, Bags has you covered. No job's too small, and no wait is too long. Visit Bags Homeworks on Facebook for monthly giveaways and awesome prizes. For more, visit bagshomeworks.com. Bags Homeworks, getting your to-do list done.
1851 Underground is one of those cool joints the family would enjoy going even if the food wasn't good. But it is good. Really good. Famous burgers like the 1851, topped with pulled pork and hickory bacon, or the fire and ice chicken sandwich with Cholula honey and pepper jack cheese. The Baja fish tacos with crispy fried cod and avocado cream sauce is another favorite. It's not a secret, but it is underground. 1851 Underground in the historic Brick District in Fulton. Find them on Facebook and Instagram.
You think you're saving money until one accident wipes it all away. Cheap car insurance can leave you dealing with medical costs, repairs, even uninsured drivers. It piles up fast. That's why you need Phyllis Nichols. She's not just an agent. She's the 12-round fighter in your corner. Phyllis digs into your policy, breaks down your options, and makes sure you have the coverage to handle whatever life throws at you. Don't get knocked out by being underinsured. Call State Farm agent Phyllis Nichols, the 12-round agent. A fighter jet is a marvel of a machine. It can do some incredible things. But if you tried to jump in it and fly that bad boy right now, how do you think that would turn out? Crash and burn. Don't let that happen to your brand or your business. At Fuse 32, we have the perfect people in place who know how to pilot a strong marketing campaign. So put your seat in its upright position and let us show you how to navigate the skies of marketing to take your brand and your business to new heights. It's time for takeoff. Fuse 32. There's nothing we can't do.
It was 2:30 on a Tuesday when the phone rang. Brian Ware Plumbing answered the call. It was a dismayed wife. Fresh off vacation, her and her hubby came home to a wrecked water heater. It had sprung a leak, a bad one. So while the plumbing team took care of that leaky water heater, Brian's certified restoration guide, Josh, with 2 decades of experience, came in to restore the area and stop mold in its tracks. Another day, another job, another expert added to the team. Ho-hum. Better call Brian and unplug your plumbing problems. BrianWarePlumbing.com.
Your daily fix of local sports lives here. This is The Big Show on KTGR.
Give us your over-unders for Mizzou and UMass. 875 KTGR here on The Big Show with Andy and Brendan. Homecoming weekend, of course. You're ready for the parade. Starts at 9 a.m. House decks starting at around 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Always a fun time for Mizzou homecoming. Also, don't forget, Tiger tailgate passes are still available at our many drop-off locations, or pickup locations, I should say. You can go and find the full list of them on the KTGR app. And what's really cool is that a lot of these places, I mean, they're great businesses, obviously, and they really lean into this. They let you get your passes, but they also give you some extra perks to it, like Minutemen Defense, brand new gun store, and on Rangeline in Columbia. Like if you go and buy something and get a tailgate pass, they also enter you for a chance to win tickets to the game. So that's going on next couple days. So go and check them out. You can check out Buckeye in Columbia, Jeff City, and Fulton. All 3 Columbia Hy-Vee locations, Big O Tires, Boone Hospital Wound Healing Center. They've all got Tiger tailgate passes for this upcoming tailgate. It starts at 4 o'clock, I had to do the quick math in my head. 6:30 kick, 2.5 hours before 4 o'clock start to the Tiger Tailgate, right in front of Mizzou Arena. Thanks to Dive Bar, Bud Light, High Noon, Zing Zang, Lucky One Lemonade, and Midmo Water Solutions. Go and get your free passes at one of the pickup locations, which you can find on the KTGR app. Also, a lot of recruiting news gets lost in the shuffle during, game weeks and football talk and everything like that. But Mizzou got a pretty good JUCO recruit, it would seem, today for the class of 2026. What, number 2 JUCO guy, according to Rivals and On 3. It's not bad.
Yeah, 6'8", 260 is not bad either. It's a sizable gentleman.
Yeah, DeMarcus Johnson, defensive lineman, committing to the Tigers via his social media. Yeah, it's not bad. We'll see how he looks. Houston area guy, so he can't hurt, right? We'll go with that.
Sure. Whatever you say.
Missouri City, Texas, stand up. But yeah, this will be the start of the ramp up, though. I don't know, not necessarily JUCO guys, but you will see some more additions to the commitment list for Mizzou football as they get closer to December. Obviously, visits start to trickle through. A lot of these SEC games that are coming up, a lot of those visitors will come. And Eli Drinkwitz kind of talked a lot about, it was a general sense, it was a question about Ahmad Hardy's recruitment, but he also kind of reiterated some of their philosophy about recruiting and, saying, okay, we want to see more progression from these high school kids before locking in on them. And I'm paraphrasing what he's saying, but he talked about the importance of a senior high school season, which you don't get to see if you're trying to lock up your whole class by June before that signing day comes. So Eli Drinkwitz talked a little bit this week about the importance of seeing a senior year and, of course, seeing Ahmad Hardy with a college team and knowing how he can keep progressing there and them wanting to pull the trigger on him, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, I think that a lot of what Eli Drinkwitz is doing is interesting right now when it comes to recruiting. And we know obviously the portal has been big, but like that JUCO realm is just another sort of pipeline to tap into. And I feel as though he's been pretty involved in, building those relationships and being able to, to kind of make those connections. And I think that kind of still goes into the mantra of production over potential. When you talk about JUCO guys, it's like, well, they've at least played some college ball. So you can have an idea for, what their experience level might produce if they came over to your side.
And thanks to Diego Pavia, now DeMarcus Johnson can play college football forever because he's a JUCO
there you
guy.
Go.
It's like, never leave. 875-KTGR if you want to call or text us. All right. We'll get to this. We'll split it up in 2 segments eventually, but we'll at least have the bells and whistles with this one. Actually, I'll do it now.
Fade or eliminate.
Little hiccup, it's fine. Doesn't mean that your fantasy team's going to lose based on the advice we give.
Oh, it might mean that, though. It might mean that. You can't guarantee it.
Oh, boy.
When it comes to fantasy.
Play, fade, eliminate. Text in your fantasy football questions, 875-KTGR. David starts first with his text about tight ends this week. I haven't talked a lot about tight ends so far this year, but here is 3. Travis Kelce, Jake Ferguson, Hunter Henry. Play, fade, eliminate.
Oh, man. Hunter Henry has been really good. Had a big week anyway last weekend, I'm recalling. Kelce, he's been fine, I guess, right? But I don't think he's been really helping you a bunch for fantasy. He had a touchdown in the opener, 4 for 61, 4 for 26. Ravens are certainly gettable. So I don't shy away from the matchup. He also listed, who are the other 2? Ferguson was 1. Who was the third one?
Hunter Henry.
All right, Henry. Yeah, Henry very well could be great again, but it's more hit and miss with him, hot and cold with him. It seems like every time I've started him over his career, he duds, and then you ignore him, and then he scores 2 touchdowns the next week. So I feel like because you have 2 other options that are good, that'll be my eliminate. I'd rather go with something that's more steady and consistent. I'm going to fade Kelce until I see it from him, although you could more than get away with playing him in the matchup. Even against the Packers, if it's PPR, that'll be my distinction. I will play Ferguson. No CeeDee Lamb. They haven't ruled him out yet, but he's not going to play. Ferguson racked up catches in the last game. It will be more difficult against Green Bay. Their defense is elite, but he'll still get you probably 5 or 6 catches. Kelsey, a better chance to find the end zone, though. So if it's not a full PPR, I would switch it and play Kelsey over Ferguson.
All right, Play Fade Eliminates here on the Big Show. Text in your fantasy football questions to us, 573-875-KTGR. Jason texting in Gauntlets. I guess that's the type of league. I am not familiar with Gauntlet leagues, but
I'm not either. He's mentioned that before, and I think he said it's like Eliminator. Like if you're the lowest scorer, you lose and you get chopped. I think Jason has texted in about this league before, so I guess he's still alive.
Yeah, that's good. It's good. In a flex, he says Kelsey, who I guess has 2-point PPR. Boy, that'd be something.
Yeah, for tight ends, if it's a premium scoring league, yeah.
Or Jordan Addison, or I believe he means Trey Tucker here on this one.
Yeah, had 3 touchdowns last week, if that's who he's talking about. 40 PPR points. I don't know offhand who the Raiders play this weekend, but that's dicey. Like, let's see Trey Tucker do it one more time. And in that same category, let's see Jordan Addison do it once. Like, he's going to be with a backup quarterback in Carson Wentz. And so, I think that's honestly maybe better for the passing offense compared to J.J. McCarthy, who stinks.
First game for Addison back from suspension, right? His first one?
Exactly.
Okay.
He's been suspended. The suspension has been lifted. They're playing at the Steelers, who have been a great defense. It's not at the Steelers, though. It's overseas. It's an 8:30 start from Dublin. So take for that what you will. Like, Addison can be a game breaker, but because he mentioned the 2-point PPR for Kelsey's going to get 4 or 5 catches in this game. So that's more than enough in a league that, like, you just don't want to get goosed. Trey Tucker, that's more of a ceiling risk play. Addison, more of a ceiling risk play when you haven't seen him. He hasn't seen game action yet. Kelsey, I think, is the safest pick. So he's my play. I'll fade Addison, who's a better player than Trey Tucker, eliminate Trey Tucker until I see another week of him doing that for the Raiders.
Okay, let's go to this running back question here. Play, fade, eliminate. Travis Etienne, Javonte Williams, Cam Skattebo.
Javonte Skattebo and who?
Etienne.
Etienne's been pretty good. I don't think I have him really on any of my teams because I just didn't really know what to do with that Jaguars backfield. But I mean, he's been very consistent. 14, 16, 16 carries. Bashal Tutin is their backup running back. That's a rookie that's starting to get a little bit more of a look from that situation. And so I'm not overly desperate to keep starting Etienne. Javonte Williams, that is where I'll draw the line. Packers defense, I'll draw the line there and say, that's maybe a good fade. Do I have to start Scam Skattebo? I guess he's not a scam. I guess he's going to be a pretty good player.
Yeah.
He has looked good. And I liked him in college. I don't know. I just feel like he got more hype than our guy Cody Schrader, and I think they're equally as good as one another. But I guess time is going to show that Skattebo is a good player. Facing the Chargers, I mean, and Tyrone Tracy has been doubtful. I think he's going to be out this week. Skattebo's your play. Etienne's your fade. I'm not playing a Cowboy running back against the Packers. I just don't. I get it. Javante's been very good. You got to pay attention to the matchup, though, there. That's an eliminate for me this week.
We'll have more of these coming up after this, but you can continue to text in your fantasy football questions to us, 573-875-KTGR, or you can leave a comment on our YouTube channel. We're live now there at KTGR Sports. Keep getting them in. We'll get to them next after this live local sports center.
Now, your local sports center update on your total sports station, KTGR.
Good afternoon. I'm Andy Humphrey. This Sports Center update is with Lee's Tire Company. If it's round and rubber, Lee's sells it. Go to leestirecompany.com. Full practice for Xavier Worthy, a wide receiver for the Chiefs today. He is looking to work back into game action after suffering a shoulder injury against the Chargers week 1 of the season in Brazil. Also full practice for wide receiver Jalen Royals, who has yet to make his debut for the Chiefs. Full practice also for Mike Dana, who's been out with injury for the last game and a half, as has starting corner Christian Fulton dealing with an ankle injury. He was a limited participant in practice today. Chiefs taking on the Ravens at 3:25 on Sunday at Arrowhead Stadium. The loser of that game falls to 1-3 on the season. Cardinals mathematically eliminated from postseason contention after last night's loss to the Giants. They lost 4-3. Cardinals still take 2 out of 3 in that series. They have an off day today before taking on the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field for their final regular season series this weekend. First game starts tomorrow in the daytime. That's just after 1 o'clock. And the Royals lost 3-2 yesterday at the Anaheim Angels. They'll look to take the series in the rubber game tonight. First pitch just after 8:30. Now your ABC 17 Storm Track forecast.
I'm ABC 17 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Jessica Hafner. I'm tracking a nice, clear, and cool night as temperatures drop down into the lower 50s. We could see some potential patchy fog, but overnight temperatures will continue to drop as we get into tomorrow morning. We'll see more sunshine, a high temperature tomorrow in the lower 80s. We're going to see a warm weekend with temperatures in the mid 80s and lows in the mid to upper 50s. I'm ABC 17 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Jessica Hafner, and that's your ABC 17 Storm Track forecast on your total sports station, KTGR.
Join the biggest party of football season at KTGR's Tiger Tailgate. Download the KTGR app and find a full list of locations where you can pick up your free Tiger Tailgate passes. Then come party with free food and drinks 2.5 hours before each Mizzou kickoff in front of Mizzou Arena. It's our Tiger Tailgate with Dive Bar, Bud Light, High Noon, Sing Sang, Lucky One Lemonade, and Mid-Mo Water Solutions. Find out where you can pick up your free passes on the KTGR app.
Before the sun comes up and long after it sets, ABC 17 News and Storm Track Weather keep working for you, gathering the information your family needs to take on the day, alerting you to breaking news and health and safety concerns in our area, plus tracking the latest weather conditions to help you plan ahead. It's everything you need to know from the team you trust most. ABC 17 News and Storm Track Weather, where the news comes first.
This is Kim with Hearing Aid Consultants. For some, the thought of wearing a hearing device makes them feel old. In reality, improved hearing helps prevent accelerated aging. Untreated hearing loss not only can decrease your lifespan, but it can also lead to a faster decline in cognitive abilities and increase the likelihood of dementia. Come see us at Hearing Aid Consultants for your free hearing evaluation today. Hearing Aid Consultants in Allmaker Repair Lab in Jefferson City. We are here for you today so you can hear tomorrow. HearingAidConsultants.com.
Hello there. This is Quentin with JQ's On High in Jefferson City. We are looking for skilled and passionate hospitality team members who can bring both front of house charm and back of house know-how to our unique food service operation. We offer competitive pay plus tips, a fun work environment, and we welcome your creative input on our made from scratch menu. If you are dependable, love great food and great people, apply in person today at JQ's On High and be a part of something special here in Central Missouri.
From Branson Landing to the Capitol Dome, Union Station to the Tigers' home. Big old service is Missouri's best. Our trusted team outpaces the rest. Show me safe coverage wherever you go. We've got you covered at Big O.
You work hard, and so should your equipment. That's why at Farm Power Lawn and Leisure, we trust Kubota, and so can you. Whether it's a Kubota tractor to manage your land, a Kubota zero-turn mower for a perfect cut, or a Kubota side-by-side to handle every task, Kubota makes work easier, smoother, and more reliable. And when it's time for maintenance, our expert service team keeps your Kubota running strong because you deserve equipment that works as hard as you do. Get the power, performance, and support you need all in one place. Visit us at 1702 Business Loop 70 East, Columbia. Farm Power Lawn and Leisure, your home for Kubota sales and service.
I'm Nevada Shelke, Exterior Director of Sales with TrueSun Exteriors and Interiors. TrueSun Exteriors is your exclusive preferred LP SmartSide contractor. One of the benefits that comes with our preferred contractor status is we are able to provide extended warranties with the Expert Finish product. We love LP siding because it comes in longer lengths. So that means there's less seams on your home. It has a hail warranty on its substrate up to 1 3/4 of an inch. It is an engineered wood product, so it's much easier to work with, and install. LP SmartSide has several pre-finished colors available, as well as pre-finished accessories to complete your siding project.
The difference between a house and a home is the attention to detail. At True Sun Exteriors and Interiors, we'll turn your vision of a dream home into a reality. For more information or a free estimate, go to TrueSunExteriors.com.
TrueSunExteriors.com.
The best local sports talk around on your ride home. You've got The Big Show on KTGR.
Back here on The Big Show, you can continue to text in your fantasy football questions to us, 573-875-KTGR, as we roll along here on The Big Show with Andy and Brendan. We'll get to some of that. Do want to get to this here, though. Unfortunate news in the Mizzou football community. If you remember the name Carl Bull Reese, he was a former defensive coordinator for Mizzou. He played at Mizzou in the 60s as a fullback and a linebacker. Was the DC for a lot of the Warren Powers years between 77 and 82, I believe. A 40-plus year coaching career for Carl Bull Reese. He unfortunately passed away recently, according to Football Scoop, who covers all things coaching in the sport of football. And true son, played for the Tigers, got his coaching career started for the Tigers as a GA, had multiple stints as a DC and did very well in that job through some pretty good years for Mizzou in late 70s, early 80s under Warren Powers, but also was a DC at LSU, Texas, Vanderbilt, Navy, a lot of different stops. Unfortunately passed away. Our thoughts with the family of Carl Bull Reese and everyone who knew him. By all accounts, an excellent man and an excellent life lived. So wanted to acknowledge that today. Play, Fade, Eliminate will help you out with less important things like your fantasy football team here on The Big Show, KTGR and the KTGR app. I was going to throw a wide receiver one at you. I just want to make sure that I get it right here, Brendan, because I know there have been
look at your own team first.
No, I swear to God, I don't look at my own team when I do
now,
this.
You've done it before.
I've done it.
I've
slipped it in every so often.
You're like, there's a text in here from Andrew. Andrew would like to know.
No, it's just Drew. That's my cover. That's my burner.
Yeah.
Sorry. Here's one for. I'll make sure to get wide receivers in. I clicked the wrong page, but let's go play, fade, eliminate with these three wide receivers here: Jerry Jeudy, Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley.
Oh man, sad day. Jeudy got chewed up by the Packers in that game, only 1 for 17. So, you're coming off of a game in which he didn't do much at all. But again, you almost have to throw everything that happens in games against the Packers defense right now out the window and not really take it from one week to the next. That being said, the Browns do play the Lions. The Lions, we know, are very good defensively. And, probably going to be a negative game script. The Lions should win that game by a bunch. But I just don't really know how much I want to trust anybody on the Browns if I don't have to. Christian Kirk just made his return for Andy's Texans last weekend. 3 receptions for 25 yards. So didn't really break the bank for you in PPR by any stretch of the imagination. But he's going to continue to get a little bit more involved. Calvin Ridley has really, I think part of this is the rookie quarterback thing. Like, Cam Ward is going to help the Titans win more games, but for wide receivers in fantasy, it doesn't always benefit you to have a rookie. You almost would rather have a Daniel Jones, a Joe Flacco, like an old veteran quarterback that you've at least seen be able to sustain an NFL offense, even if it's not a great player. But man, Ridley, I think, is the most talented of this group, Andy. And right now, frankly, I'm discounting Jeudy right now because I think it's just the Browns are not a situation I want to be involved in, even though he's got a lot of talent. The Texans and Titans play each other this weekend. Maybe that's a game that both offenses can get going a little bit. CJ Stroud has been hard to trust. He's been really bad, but I think they're like, of the two pass defenses, I think the Texans are better. So I'll probably start Ridley there. I'll fade Christian Kirk in the same matchup.
Of the two, the pass defenses, the Texans are better, and so you're starting Ridley? Or
let me correct that. Yeah, I'm more afraid to face the Texans defense. Okay. So I'll start Christian Kirk and I will put Ridley as my fade.
Got it.
PPR is really what I'm usually speaking toward with these. And I think Kirk can get you 4 for 40 yards, but these are all very low upside flex options.
How about quickly for quarterbacks? If you had to go and get these guys off the waiver wire, Bo Nix, Geno Smith, Kyler Murray.
Kyler playing tonight. This was a game that the Seahawks opened as an underdog, but now they're a favorite on the road. There's a lot of sharp money on the Cardinals tonight. I think I'm of those three. Like if somebody has been tired of Kyler and they dumped him and he's available to you, I'll play Kyler. I'll trust him on the Thursday night game, which like sets the tone for your week, right? Like if it goes badly, I'm sorry.
He gets a couple rush touchdowns, like you're looking at like, hey, that's pretty good, like that.
Bo Nix missed Marvin Mims Jr. on a long touchdown pass last weekend that I found out after I was covering the Cardinals game, so I wasn't watching, but I did have a parlay where 3 other guys scored touchdowns. Marvin Mims, it would have paid out a lot for like a $5 parlay. And I didn't know until like Wednesday that had happened. I just assumed, he didn't score, didn't have a chance to score. And then I saw Broncos fans on Twitter complaining, and I was like, wait a minute, is that Marvin Mims? Put it right in the breadbasket. We're a big winner. But because of that, I'll fade Bo Nix because I'm personally upset with him. Yeah.
Hey, Geno looked good. Geno, I guess you play there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, my play is Kyler. My fade is not really a strong fade, but Geno, he'll get you. He'll be fine for you. Eliminate Bo Nix for right now. He's in timeout. He's suspended for me for a little while, missing that easy touchdown pass. There's a flea flicker too. It was a great play call.
Gosh, only one wide receiver can actually catch flea flickers, and we know who that is for the Bears.
It's Luther Burden.
I mean, if he had been on the other end of that, he probably would have caught up to it, I suppose. But
by the way, you could just start him. I know he's barely playing. Oh yeah, he'll probably.
No, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. In my league, I'm doing it.
I'll do it too.
Not afraid. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to Calum McAndrew for joining us as well. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for our predictions for Chiefs and Ravens and Mizzou UMass at 4:00. He's Brendan. I'm Andy. We're done for now.
When the Tigers score, you score at your Columbia Hy-Vee. For every point Mizzou scores on Saturday, when you